it on? Hi.
Wow.
I'm nervous. Yes, I love that. We're family. Hey, guys.
I feel underdressed.
I feel overdressed. It's okay. These hurt
No,
very
no,
bad.
no. I feel, and it's wonderful, the love that's happened here on the way in. It's really awesome to see. Hi, Kehlani.
Hey,
How are
Arlen,
you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I know you're nervous. I'm nervous too. So let's
Let's
be
be nervous together.
Okay,
all
cool,
of
cool.
us.
So we'll just talk a little bit about you.
Okay.
Talk about your company. Talk about our investment, and I think there's a lot that we can get into here. So, and of course, anything is off record, you let me know. Okay, so from how many people know who Kehlani is in this room?
Ah.
Yeah. Okay, so there's about 2 people who don't.
Hi, guys. I'm
So
Kehlani.
for those 2 people who don't know, tell us just a little bit about your background. Starting out, you told me you've been doing this since you were 11 years old, and I'm old enough to be your mom. We figured out, so that means half your life.
Basically.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about that story.
Well, I'm Kehlani. I'm 22. I'm from Oakland, right across the bridge. Hey. I actually went to Oakland School for the Arts, and then I graduated from Berkeley High, and I started. Hey, Be High, what's up? Hey. I started, venturing into the music industry when I was like 12, 13 years old. I was in a band called Pop Life that was put together by Tony's Dwayne Wiggins, and like all his sons were in it, and we all met at the art school and became a band and started traveling and doing like local shows. And then when I was about 16 years old, we went on to America's Got Talent and became season finalists. And after that, just kind of all went our separate ways. I went to go finish high school and like be kids, and I ended up just going solo and just making my first songs and my first mixtape and so on and so forth, and now I'm here.
Awesome. And how did, I know you said you were on America's Got Talent that at the time was hosted by Nick Cannon.
Yeah.
How has Nick Cannon influenced your life post AGT?
Well, he basically met me on America's Got Talent, and I think there's a space that people have to wait to contact people who are on the show versus people who work on the show. And so he waited the time, and he reached out and was like, yo, everybody's all grown up, like, you're in school, like, if you want to make music, I have an opportunity for a project if you want to come work on it. So I ended up going down to LA to work on this project. It didn't really fit what I wanted to do, so I ended up going back to Oakland and, going back to school, high school. And then I put my first song out, and he calls, and he's like, okay, now I get what you want to do. I hear the song, this is where you want to go with it. Let's come back, let's try it again. But at the time, I was couch hopping, and he told me, it's really hard to focus on what you want to do musically if you don't really know where you're gonna sleep or what you're gonna eat. And he surprised me with my whole first apartment, and I'd never had my own room before, never slept in a bed by myself, and he kind of became my guardian angel and a very, very, very big mentor for me throughout my entire life.
Wow, that's a wonderful story. Are you still
Praise
in
to
touch?
Nick Cannon, for real, amazing person.
Do you still stay in touch with all your new
every
success
day.
here?
Yeah.
Or I shouldn't say it's new success, but it is, I can imagine the last year has been pretty overwhelming for you because it's just been a rocket ship.
For
we
sure.
want that as startups. We want to have rocket ships. I would say that the startup of Kehlani is right?
Oh, for sure.
So, my mic is acting up. So has the last year been pretty crazy when it comes to just the attention? Last 6 months, let's say.
For sure. I mean, I dropped an album in January, and I went on a 7-month tour that I just came back from, and just figuring out where I can take my platform and use it in a more inclusive way and less of like, this is me, I'm Kehlani, me, and make it so that there's so many people that love me. How do we get them involved, and how do we kind of join together and kind of eliminate this gap that there is between artist and listener, and kind of make sure we build together, because we're all people dealing with human problems, and we're under the same government and eating the same food, and how do we bridge this gap and move forward? So that's what I've been kind of using that attention to like maneuver into that way.
And what made you think or start to think about tech being maybe that connection, that connective tissue? What did you, how did that start for you?
Well, when thinking about what I wanted to do with my platform, I realized, I could do a bunch of things that kind of only service me. I could, make a product. I could, maybe do like an alcohol or like a perfume, and then it's just me doing something cool, and then there's like consumers. But we wanted to do something that would create opportunity or create spaces for other people to join in, and not just inspire hope, but actual physical opportunity, and something that was going to be way bigger than, this is Kehlani's thing, something that would take its own life, that I could help use my platform to assist pushing off the ground, but that could take its own thing that would benefit humanity. As crazy big dreaming as that sounds, I kind of just want to be a superhero. So
Well, you are, and I'm just
Thank
blown
you.
away. I know I'm totally annoying you and your co-founders, Alex and Reed, by keep talking about how young y'all are, but it blows me away the how centered they are. This is one of the reasons that, I decided to invest in your company. So let's talk a little bit about Reed and Alex.
these are my co-founders,
your
everybody.
co-founders.
They're
Can you
amazing.
raise your hand
Reed and Alex.
raise your hand a little bit higher than that. They are, so the three of you are in LA, started.
Yeah.
How long have y'all known each other?
We've known each other for like 3 years, 4. We all lived in the same apartment complex, and I guess you can tell from posting certain pictures, like, wow, this is the same street, the same windows, the same, we should hang out, we all live here. So we ended up hanging out, and they were already building apps and doing all sorts of genius things that was just such another world to me, that I was just like, these are my nerdy, awesome friends who are teaching me everything. And it was just a great experience to like meet people who were in a completely other space than me, that I felt like could really inspire me, and they're amazing at what they do. Alex is the designer and is a freaking tech genius and is building something really beautiful. And Reed is my COO. I'm getting my terms together, guys. My vocabulary is building.
Yeah, COO. Hello. Is this on? So Alex would be your CTO.
He's my CTO,
Chief
and then
Technical
Reed is my
Officer.
COO.
Yes,
And,
operation. I got it wrong earlier today, because this early in a company, it does kind of ebb and flow. It's all hands on deck. Everybody does everything. But it's true. It's Alex is a wonderful engineer. There's a whole story there about he self-taught coder. Definitely get in touch. Everyone who wants to talk to him. And Reed is definitely the business guy and the marketing and sales. So that's great. And so that leaves you as CEO. Does that mean that
Pressure.
and I'm going to ask you questions I already know the answer to, but does that mean that you sort of spearheaded the idea of the company?
Yeah, I mean, basically, we all realized we all had things we could offer each other in a space outside of friendship, They're like, Kehlani, you just spew out ideas all day, and I don't know how to do anything technical with them. I just think of fun ideas. And we sat down in my living room, and we're just like, let's write a list of ideas that, could be bigger than us, that we could birth and we could work on, that, would give us something outside of music and the apps that he's working on himself, that they're working on together. And we came up with the idea of Flora, and it just kind of took its own life in the past few months. And I can't believe that I'm even here in this space, because I'm so used to just, being the music artist and doing the music thing. So this is awesome that I'm even included in this way, so.
Okay. While I switch this over, there's people in this audience who are portfolio companies in our fund, and they're so much better at this than I am. So tell us, I know we can't talk too much about the company because a lot of it is stealth. And
Top secret.
And you're, but what can you tell us about it? I know you've been asked a lot.
I've been trying to I'm really bad with the top secret, sneaky wording. But it's definitely for the betterment of people. It's in the space of health and environmentally friendly living. It's not a vegan situation. It's inclusive to whatever diet, whatever lifestyle, but just living whatever lifestyle you want to live in the best way that's not just best for you and your health, but for the health of the planet. So
Is this on?
I am vegan,
You
yes.
are vegan, but you're saying that it's inclusive of anyone in this room who may or may not be vegan. Who just wants to
it's not
be
particular
healthier.
to veganism. It's living, the healthiest form of whatever your lifestyle is. And if you live that lifestyle and you want to make another choice to go on to the next healthier step from that, then you can. And I just feel like some things become very exclusive in that space, and we just wanted to make sure you could be healthy in whatever way, is best for you.
And I'm going to drill in a little bit about that last statement, and you can choose not to speak about it. But one of the things that was really compelling to me when we were talking.
Can you guys hear her?
You can hear me?
No.
Oh, okay. But they're cousins. Okay. One of the nobody knows what I'm talking about when I say that. That's Patty Duke, y'all. Come on. One of the things that was compelling to me during, like when we were first talking about this, was that you wanted to reach the people who are already in your audience and beyond that, right? Because you felt that there was a lot of healthy things that were being mostly promoted to a more affluent, older crowd, who, the Whole Foods crowd. And your take on that, it seemed, was like, let's get them early. Let's start teaching. I mean, if you had caught me early, I might have been 100 pounds lighter. You know what I mean? Like, and that's real. I'm from Mississippi. It's the most unhealthy state in the country, and my eating habits were formed very early, and that's kind of why I feel like this is really interesting. Now, again, we can't get too much into it, but I'll definitely, for anyone wondering, there's a lot of work being done behind the scenes, and really excited to be able to reveal that later. And talk a little bit more about why you also, in addition to the app itself, to the company itself, why do you think it's important for your fans and for us? Hello? Okay. Why do you think it's important for your fans and for others, maybe the younger group, or maybe older, but they didn't necessarily think that tech was for them? Why do you think it's important for you to be that, I won't call you a role model because that's a lot of pressure, but that representation coming from the music world?
I think that in one aspect, I think we get this very stuck mindset where when we become successful at something, and we're good at so many things, or we have so many dreams of doing so many things, when we get successful at one of those things, we're like, let me lock it down. This is going to be my life because I found some success in it. I may not find success in anything else. Let me square this away. And then you end up depriving yourself of being able to do so many cool things because we're capable of so many different things. And I think it's important for people to see that, you don't have those boundaries. And if I want to be a singer who makes an app, who could become a teacher one day, I want to have my own curriculum, I want a summer program, I want eventually my own like school systems, and I want a school, you know what I mean? And I feel like it's important for people to know that they can dive into whatever it is that makes them happy. And tech is happening, it's coming, it's here now, and I feel like, exactly, it's very much here. And I feel like there's so many people that I was talking to that didn't know that this was a thing, that didn't know that this existed. So any way that it can get the light that it needs to, it should happen. And as artists, I was just having a conversation the other day about artists kind of being in this light of being the new politicians, as in, young people look at us for news and look at us for opinions and directions on which way they should think or feel about something. And it's our responsibility to make certain things cool and certain things popular, and I want to make being healthy cool, and I want to make stepping into an intelligent space like this, like tech, cool and fun, and people to not feel intimidated by it or feel like this has already been happening for so long before I got into it. There's no way I'm going to be able to get into it now because I'm so far behind. And I don't know, I just want to open that door in a really cool, fun, honest way.
Wow, that what you said was really powerful about getting into intelligent spaces. That's really interesting, and I of course agree. It's one of the reasons I started Backstage, was representation, was more making it more accessible to some people. Another thing is, I mentioned in an article this week that you were on Slack during at the Soul Train Awards, working on the app, working with your team on the app. And to me, that's just one example of the work ethic that I feel that you bring. Is that how you approach touring and album making? Is that how you approach things, or why is that important to you as well?
Well, I think the most important thing for why I'm so diligent about working on this app so hands-on is because I didn't want this to just be a Kehlani's relying on, the platform or the following or anything like that. I would have hated for it to go to waste like that. I wanted to be able to say, for myself, I did this and I was hands-on and I not only thought of the idea, but I'm in the office, I'm in the meetings with you guys. We're meeting every other day at my house and talking about the design. And yeah, if I don't like a color, I want to be able to say it. And, it's kind of like a personal thing for me. But I think that's just how you should approach anything in life that you want success at. I'm sure many people have seen that one video where the motivational speaker is talking about the story of the guru who the young man approached about wanting to make money, and he's like, you won't know success until you want to succeed as bad as you wanted to breathe. And I watch that all the time because I feel like sometimes with success you can't get complacent. And you can just be like, okay, I got this, I'm cool, I'm chilling right now, but there's so much out there. And I just wanted to really be hands-on and start from the ground up. And I think, like, we were just saying how cool this is that we're speaking in this type of an intimate setting, and it wasn't like, okay, I'm coming to Afrotech, so let's, like, do, like, a giant thing that I wouldn't even be ready for because I'm a baby in this space. So this is cool that it's getting to be this, like, organic, natural, like, really learning experience for me. I'm learning, so yeah.
I did want to take the moment to thank Morgan. I don't know if she's here, but Morgan, CEO of Blavity, and I would give her a round of applause, please, because she put this on. And I'm incredibly impressed by this event, and I think it's doubled in size in a year. And is it true that this is your first tech event? Ever.
Yes.
Wow, that's cool, right? And so there's going to be people in the audience who are college students, or maybe not college students, but maybe new to tech, and that's why they're here, to learn, to meet, to network. That's part of it. So as someone who's learning about tech, is there something you can tell those people who feel like maybe have imposter syndrome or maybe feel like I can't do this? Is there something that you can say to them?
Well, you can imagine the certain reactions I got upon announcing this app. People are like, girl, go back over there in the studio and sing your little songs because leave our world alone. I'm like, oh man, but I got such a cool idea and I want to save the world. And I think just if you know that you're doing something and the intention behind it is 100% good, then you can't go wrong. You can mess up with, anybody can mess up, whether they're great at it or been in it years. Especially with this, I feel like this is something that isn't even, it's like music. It isn't guaranteed. There are ups and downs. It's an economy. It's a market. So there will be things that happen. But I think just sticking with the good intention, and if you have an open mind and want to learn and you aren't hard-headed about it, I think just being willing to be open and to learn, I guess, would be my advice. And just don't be so hard on yourself. It's like when people are first going vegan and they're like, dang, I slightly messed up. I'm like, you don't have to call yourself a vegan yet. Just say you're plant-based and you're trying. And then when you get there, it saves room for being mad at yourself, So I'm like, I'm learning. I'm stepping into the tech space. I'm not going to call myself a big tech boss yet. When I get there, I would love to at some point. But for now, I'm learning, and I won't apply that unnecessary pressure. So
that's really wonderful. I'm sure that's relatable to a lot of people here. So tell me, where do you want to be in the tech world with the company? Maybe 2 years out, 5 years out. Do you think about that ever? What you foresee?
Well, I really want to just kind of eliminate that gap between, my music career and this tech career. I want to hopefully have provided a bunch of opportunity. I hope to have offices, and that's like my little fun goal in my head. I want like my name on an office. It's like, sounds so cute. But I don't know. I just want it to be something that people are excited about because it's bigger than I'm getting a job and I'm going to be financially, okay, or I'm going to be attached to something that Kehlani is doing. I want it to be like, this is a company that is doing something so important, and I want to be a part of something that could possibly change the world. And I think 5 years, I just want it to be big in changing the world in whatever capacity.
That's great. I think we're going to get there. So I'm going to ask a couple more questions just kind of to wrap up, but I think we're doing a Q&A. I want to make sure that we are. So if you have questions, please get ready to ask. And they can be for either of us, although I have a feeling they're going to be for Kehlani. So let's kind of bring that back to how we started. I know that you probably wouldn't say this, but Kehlani is up for American Music Award on the 19th. Is it the 19th? And can you tell me, I don't want to make you nervous, but can you tell me who you're up against?
So I'm nominated for an award, an American Music Award, and the other two women in my category are Beyonce and Rihanna. I'm like, who am I? Why? So not only did I never expect that in my life, but I can't explain to you how much of a joke I thought it was when it came out. It got sent to me, and I'm like, you guys are cute. You Photoshopped my name in between them. It looks cute up there, but no way. And then I started getting more screenshots sent to my phone, and I was like, wow, this is like a thing. And I'm going to have to go to this award, and I'm going to have to wear a dress. It's just instant, like, woo. But I don't know. I'm shaken. I'm a bit shook. And I'm just shaken and stirred, yes. I'm honored, period, to be even considered and have my name anywhere near two women that I've admired my entire career. So I can't even, I'm not even thinking about winning this. I'm just happy that they even see my name next to theirs so they know I exist. You know? Like, I'm here. I see y'all, see me.
And then finally, I will say I want to definitely again welcome you, Alex and Reed, to the Backstage family as a portfolio company. We call our portfolio companies headliners, and I mean it works, right? And Ania Williams with Tinsel and Dawn Dixon from SVI Solutions, who is she's presenting here. They're in our portfolio as well, and it's just I'm really proud of all three of you. I'm proud of you. I am excited, and I really look forward to working together with you. And so we'll open it up to Q&A. Okay. Is someone going to help us select, or should I select? So whoever has the mic first. I don't know where the mic is. Somebody put their hand in the air with the mic. There we go. Okay, we'll start there.
Hi, everyone. My name is Daniela. I work at Pandora Music. There's a squad of us. So I just want to say I'm a big fan.
Thank you.
But my question is around the funding. So being, a woman or people of color, it's really hard to get that funding that you need for your business. So I wanted to know if you could shed some light on your experience and how things were before you actually got that funding and what challenges you had.
Well, first of all, she's incredible because that is her entire focus, is funding people of color, women, and people in the LGBTQ community. And when we saw her tweeting about that, we were just like, yo, not because we necessarily were like, let's hit this woman up to get investment, but we need to develop a relationship with this woman because we have the same mission and we have the same beliefs and the same heart in this. And my biggest fear, because of being in the music industry, and you can imagine how many sharks I deal with, I was so scared stepping into this world. I'm like, I know nobody. This is all around like exchanging of money and business, and I don't really know what the deal is, but when she tweeted that's the communities that she was interested in looking for, I just DM'd her and was like, I'm just saying thank you for even making this your mission and making this, what you're about. And this was the first person that we reached out to, and she was very amazing with sitting down with us. And not only, I think she gave us a lot of even critique and like a great lesson the first meeting. It wasn't like, let's just start by saying I want to be involved in this, but here's what you can do to make your deck better, and here's better vocabulary, and you're new to this, so let me give you some notes and some key stuff. So I don't know if you want to say anything about this, because it was very fast. So I don't want to say my experiences was like anything else,
Yeah, so we've invested in I think 57 companies is where we are today. Thank you. And some of those happen quickly, and some of those don't. And a lot of people can tell you that a lot of them don't happen quickly because we raise. We're a startup ourselves. But what happens is that Backstage gets about 1,000, 1,200. We look at that many companies per year. We are able to invest in maybe 2.5% of that. Still a large number for venture, to be honest. What we try to do for people that we are not necessarily investing in that moment is that we do have content that we put out. We put out 2 podcasts. We put out video series. We put out things that we hope can shine some light and answer some of those questions. We also have an open application process. Now, the open application process, when you sign up for it, know that we invest in 1% of those companies. So if a lot of times investors will say, in order to get in touch with us, you need to have a warm introduction. So that means you need to know someone who knows us. Well, that's the same network going in a circle. We wanted to eliminate that. So we do have this. If you go to backstagecapital.com/apply, you have a 1 in 100 chance of getting just an investment without ever meeting us. And that doesn't maybe not sound like a lot, but I can tell you it's probably 1,000 times the standard. And as far as just reaching out to us, so you're right, I did look at the company critically. This isn't, first of all, it's not my money. I invest other people's money, so I have a legal duty to make sure that I'm doing everything possible to return that money to them with some friends next to it. And so this, there's angel investments I would probably make that I don't make into the fund, and I probably would invest in almost everybody that I meet. But I do have to look at each company and say, with all of these variables, I'm meeting everybody early, what can I put together in my mind to say, this could be a company that returns something. That's how this fund works. So I wasn't going to go into this conversation and say, oh, it's Kehlani. Because that would be a disservice to me and to you. Yes, it would be. And so that's how you grow. That's how you learn. And then I think you're going to soak this up really fast because you seem to do that. And then so for a more personal response, I would definitely say talk to me or Christy Pitts, who is here. She is my investment partner, so you can talk to her. Anyone else? How about somebody up in the front?
After?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi.
Cool. Yes.
Hi, Kehlani. I met you earlier. You're so fly. My name's
Thank you.
Misha. Yes. My name's Misha. I work for a racial justice organization, Black Lives Matter. Yes. And I also am in the ground phases of co-founding my own company. Super excited about it. Can't wait. We ain't got no money yet, but it's all good. We're going to get there. Similar to the question that was asked before, I wanted to ask you, as you're thinking about building your team, right, and who the folks are that you want to work with, are you thinking about like how you'll make decisions in terms of who you're looking for to work for you? Like, are you like thinking about prioritizing LGBT, people of color, queer, femmes of color?
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah. So we actually sat with her, and she has lists that she pulls from of like amazing just women of color in tech in all different kinds of, whether that be like a data scientist. I'm getting my vocabulary. But she has a bunch of lists that we're able to look at because we are prioritizing that. And I think it's important to us as 3 young people of color. You can see my co-founders. I don't know where they went. It was important to all of us to make that happen because that is who we are. And that is essentially our mission with this entire thing, especially with the app, is essentially to just make a healthy lifestyle accessible. So accessibility is the bottom line. And yeah, providing opportunity in our spaces. And not only that, but I'm from Oakland and I've witnessed what tech can do in a negative space. And I wanted to make sure that that becomes a positive thing and that we can provide opportunity for people that live where the company is so that it isn't a massive gentrification monster mess.
All right. Hi, Kehlani. I am a huge fan. Software engineer at Facebook right now, and I was
Go off, girl.
Oh, thank you. I was really curious about what challenges you might have faced coming up with this app. I think it's a really great idea, and I'm really excited to see what comes out of it.
Challenges, man. Well, one, I didn't know anything, and it was very intimidating because I remember not knowing anything about music and the fear I had stepping into the music world. And everybody who had already been in it for years, and everybody comes at you like, I'm an expert, and I've been in it, and you're so young. And I was scared of that. Like, I'm 22 years old, and I'm like, there are real grown-ups, and I don't feel like a real grown-up yet. I'm getting there, you know. It's like my second pair of heels, working on it. So I think it was really my fear standing in my own way of, you know, will this really work out for me, because I don't even consider myself to be in this world yet. So one, I had to eliminate the fear. And two, it's such a cool idea that we had to buckle down from, this is such a great idea, now let's get into the logistics. And what do we actually need? And of course, I have people who are interested, and, you know, just people just want to throw money. And I have friends who are just down for the cause. And it was like a pause. Let's figure out the smart way to do this and the best way to do this. And yeah, I think it was really just a lot of things I had to educate myself on. That was my biggest challenge. I went to Barnes & Nobles and bought every book in the entrepreneur section, and been watching a lot of YouTube videos and links that she sends our way. And I'm now an avid TechCrunch reader. So, you know, I'm getting there. Work with me here, folks. So
I will say that reminds me of myself so much. 4 years ago, 3 years ago, I did everything that you did with just soaking up that knowledge, and, you know, it led to something. So I can definitely relate to that. And then maybe is there anyone further back so we don't miss anybody? Do some cage fighting. Someone.
Hello, Kehlani. Hi. My name is Andrew. I'm a software engineer at Twitter right now. Sorry. But I was wondering, when you said your startup is Flora? Is that what it's called? Okay.
Yeah, Flora.
So when are your applications going to get open for like software positions?
if you want to go holla at my team right there,
Okay.
please do. Please do.
Yeah,
like, please
very
feel free to
interested.
come talk to us. I would love to get things in a human connection and meeting in person type of way. So
Okay.
go holiday right there.
All right, what's up? Okay. Also, if you can please come to, I talked to you about it, but please come to the Twitter booth. We would love to have you at the photo booth so you can tweet at Afrotech.
Okay,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, thank you.
This with the pink phone. Pink phone.
Hey, girl, hey. Okay, so my name is Chanel.
Let's simmer down so I can hear.
Kehlani, you're absolutely beautiful, number one. And it's actually kind of a two-part. So I think it's absolutely amazing with what you're doing that you have decided to get into tech. I'm a newbie as well. I have a company that's called Rose Gold Dropship. I'm in the process of helping women become entrepreneurs through hair extensions. So I know absolutely nothing about tech. I'm learning as I'm going. I know that mental health is something that's also been important to you, and you've been very vocal about it. I wanted to know, does your platform have anything to do with that as well? Second part. So, girl, it is hard out here to be a woman of color trying to get these coins for our companies.
I know.
What?
I am one of them.
And I followed your journey. I hunt down everybody on Twitter, so I followed from the beginning and what is taken for you. And I love what you're doing in the platform that you're opening up for us. But there's still, yes, there's a but. There is still a window that is not open for us. And I'm trying to figure out how to get through that window, because my father didn't grow up in Silicon Valley. I don't know any, business owners, and I am trying to get the coins. And I have a very good, I'm trying to secure that bag, yes. And I have I have a company that I know is bringing in money because I've already launched. So I'm trying to see what is that disconnect that I'm missing to get from point A to point B.
I guess I'll answer first because yours is a little more. It's personal. So I'll answer real quick. So I 100% agree with you, and you know, I feel a lot of responsibility every day, and you kind of have to remind me and us that we can't invest in everybody. And what I'm trying to do is just be the example so that others who have capital, if I can say I was homeless 2.5 years ago and I was able to do this, tell me why you can't do it. And you have the money already. So that's what we're doing with Backstage. So I'm with you, and I know that Ania, she actually just left to take a call, but she runs an event called Black and Brown Founders, where she's tackling, it's blackandbrownfounders.com, where she's tackling that as well. I have these, I talk to everyone from billionaire families to angel investors who are investing 10K each, all, the full spectrum. And what I can tell you, it may not be comforting, it may not help with that particular answer, but what I can tell you is that I wouldn't still be doing this if I didn't have hope. And the reason that I have hope, because I feel pretty realistic as a person, the reason I have hope is that I am seeing a difference between now and like 2 years ago. So it may not be exactly the time that it happens for you today, but I feel like the work we're doing now will help that. Another thing I'll say is something that my mom told me while we were on a road trip earlier this year, and she was quoting something, and I'm terrible at quotes. I always get them wrong and mess up the punchline. But she said, and she was saying this, and I'm gonna get emotional if I talk about why, but she was saying to me that the seed doesn't always see the petals, and 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 so again, if you look at it as the company that I'm working on right now, that you're working on right now, I can't find the 50K for it. If you look at it like that, you may be missing this bigger swath of information and the bigger story, which is that you're on the ground floor of something that will enable thousands and maybe hundreds of thousands and maybe millions of black women to be able to do what you want to do by being part of this, by showing up to these events, and by creating revenue-generating companies, which is what I'm hearing, and that's part of it. So just know that I'm moving there with you. Every day. I agree with you.
I think the question was, will be involved in the app. I think that I'm trying to say it without saying too much about what's going on. It's geared towards wellness in all aspects, and there will be a platform for every area that involves the wellness of a human being, and that was the finesse of a statement. Yeah, okay.
All right, and if someone can let me know if we're running out of time, or 2 more questions. Okay, great. 2 more questions. Yes, sir. If we can get that to him.
I have a General Hospital trivia question for you.
Let's do it. General Hospital. It's my favorite show. You can't ask if you already said that.
Just kidding. My question. I don't have one. From your perspective.
Are you talking to me or Kehlani?
I'm talking to you.
Okay.
From your perspective, what do you see on the horizon that maybe most other entrepreneurs don't see, or like you just have a different view of?
That's right.
Of the space that other people don't have? So I'm just curious if you can share with us what do you see on the horizon?
That's a really amazing question. That's an amazing question. It's hard. It's a hard question to answer. You're right. I guess I'm the AI. I've been collecting the data. I've seen 2,500 or so companies in 3 or so years. And I've also been in the trenches raising. So there's some people, I have to say, there's some people in this room who have raised more than I have. So let's make sure that that's understood. But what I see is that there are a lot of now institutional investors, and that means family. Well, that would mean like endowments and foundations, family offices, corporations, insurance companies, these big schools, that, and foreign money. There are a lot now who are being forced to pay attention to what's in this room because of the work that was done the previous 10 years, right? So again, it may not happen today, but what is happening is that trickle down is going to be institutional investors talking to the people, funds of funds, and different people who manage money that they invest. Those people are that invest in venture funds, and those venture funds invest in us and in you. What I see is that is actually starting to happen. That's actually starting to happen. It's no longer something that it still needs to be explained. I don't know why. I don't know why it needs to be explained that black folk are the most resourceful people in the world. I don't. But it's it still does. But it's almost like they're being forced to pay attention as something that's to be taken more seriously. And my prediction is that over the next 18 to 24 months, as that starts to trickle down, the same time someone in this room, someone in this building will have an exit of their company that is so undeniably compelling, meaning returns like crazy to some investor that is not me. That's a white person, basically, a white man most likely, and it will shock the system of the ecosystem. It'll shock the ecosystem. So those two things converging, if they converge, or if that happens right as the right people are on the fence, that's where I see that second half 2019, darn it, for the 2 or 3 years after that are going to be somewhat of a heyday for us. It's also important not to get caught up in that and swept up in that, because as quickly as it comes, it will go away once the fad has faded from those minds. That's my opinion. That's my opinion of this. And so it's important to be preparing for it. Doing all the work you're doing now, because the mistakes you make and the things you get right and the people you meet and the things that you accomplish will all be preparation for when that day comes. And I guess we have one more question. Yes, in the green shirt and the blue. Right here, second, third row.
Okay, so I actually have a question for you.
Okay.
What is one of the biggest mistakes that you see early stage founders making, especially in like their decks? Because I work at a consulting firm where we do a lot of stuff with smaller companies that want to come in and get development work, but their decks might not be right, or we don't know what they're trying to build.
Yeah, I mean, you said it,
so,
right? It's the ambiguity. It's the maybe they've looked at. I'm gonna try to be patient. Maybe they've looked at an example, and they think they need 20 pages when the story could be told in 8. So, I've seen like thousands. I don't know at this point. I would say more than getting the story right, or at least close to right. At least let me know what you're doing without trying to over talk to me. Don't try to make it. I would rather see a deck that was typed out with a few words on each page, and I knew what the heck was going on at the end, than you spent $2,000 to have a pretty picture and whatever. And I hope that doesn't hurt your Hello. And so it's that overall and just in general, but also projections. Like, that's always been like my pet peeve, because sometimes you'll get these projections that it's like a 7-year this is how much you're going to make in 7 years. No, it's not. Like, you don't even know what you're going to make in a year. So I know you don't know what you're going to make in 7. So I don't know who's teaching them that. I would say that a 2 to 3 year projection based on something. Tell me why what you're basing that on. Don't just come find some numbers. And it is first-time founders across the board, okay? Be realistic with me. When you bring the deck, what I want to understand is what's going on. We can talk about the vision and the platitudes and the hopes and dreams in a conversation. And hopefully you can get that vision across to me. Also, someone recently, and this has happened many times, so I don't want to put that person on blast. It happens. Someone recently email that said,
is this one working?
Hello. Can y'all hear me? Oh, good. Is it? Because I couldn't hear it in the back. Okay. Someone recently wrote me an email that said, I'm making, and they were serious, and I'm not making fun of them. I'm trying to help them and anyone else who might think this is a good idea. I'm making a company that is the next Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Snap. No, it's not. It is not. I can guarantee you it's not. It's not all 4 of those things. So come to me and come to other investors, especially, and also understand that if an investor asks you questions and they're engaging with you and they're not a jerk, there's a lot of those, but if they're not a jerk, don't be super defensive about questions. Because if I'm asking you a question, that means I'm interested. If I don't ask you anything, that's when you need to worry. If I don't ask you a follow-up and then a follow-up, even if that question is tough. So I've seen some people, I ask them a question and they'll get defensive real fast because either they don't know the answer and they're trying to cover that up, or they're kind of in a how dare you assume I don't know this. That's not what we're doing here, right? So if you can't get past me, think of me as Super Mario Brothers. Again, I'm 37, so Super Mario Brothers, level 1. You can't get past me. What's going to happen at Series A when you start getting knocked around and it's a whole new world? So that's not only about the deck, but that's just a little bit. I think that's the last question, right? I think that's it. And Kehlani, anything else you'd like to say? Because I really appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
Is that working?
Yeah,
yes.
Can you guys hear me?
And what's next for you, music-wise?
Music-wise, more music, more music, shows. I think that's just been my consistent thing, is I kind of stay away from kind of the extras. I just want to drop music and perform it on stages and kind of focus in this space. So thank you guys so much for even coming to even care about what I have to say right now. And just much love to everybody's personal journey in this room and whatever you guys are striving for in success. I genuinely wish you guys all the best in those areas. So thank you.